All right, so a little grocery haul, protein edition. I'm here at Raley's in the North Valleys in Reno. I wanted to touch on what sources I use for protein. So why protein? Why is it so important? Well, a lot of reasons. The main one being supporting and building new lean muscle mass. Regardless of your goals, whether you want to lose body fat, you want to gain muscle, you want to tone up, you want to maintain what you have, keeping a healthy amount of protein in your diet is essential to that. Not only that, but especially for those of you that struggle with sugar cravings, when you are malnourished, we tend to have cravings sent from our bodies to crave sugar. Things that digest quickly are going to regulate our bloodstream fast. And most of the time, what we're malnourished in is protein. So we're just going to take a little stroll around the store. I'm going to show you what some of my go-tos are. Little pro tip for longevity, park far away from the store. It'll help you get your steps in. All right, so first up, and probably the most obvious, we have meat. There's a lot of options here. It is worth trying to buy leaner cuts just because when your cuts of meat have a lot of excess animal fats in them, it's just a lot of extra calories that you're consuming without even realizing it. So it's a good way to help ensure that most of the calories coming from the meat is actually from protein. One of my favorites, and technically it's a little bit higher in fat than chicken breast, but the reality is, if it doesn't taste good, I'm not gonna eat it. And I prefer chicken thighs, but I do get boneless, skinless typically, just because that is a little bit lower calorie and definitely less fat than their skinned counterparts, or skin, you know what I mean? Now, if you've been following me, you know that one of the things I do love, especially in my scrambles, is sausages. But I'm gonna do a little apples to apples comparison to show you what I look for to make sure, again, that we're not consuming extra unneeded calories. So the Sadelle's brand, it's delicious, it's really good flavor. But you can see, let's see where we are on the ratio here. We have 11 grams of fat per 1 link, 15 grams of protein. Not terrible, but that's a lot of extra fat that we don't need because this is actually the Raley's brand. But you can see just by comparison, 2.5 grams of fat per link and 12 grams of protein. So pretty much just as much protein, way less fat, and we're talking 90 calories versus, where is it, 160 calories. So this is the kind of stuff that if you're not paying attention, you can really be consuming lots of extra calories without even realizing it. All right, next up we have eggs. Now, I love eggs. They're a complete protein. Don't get too wrapped up in the fat and all that. And I've specifically been going more towards the brown eggs because if you look at the yolk difference in the color between regular eggs and brown eggs, the yolk is way more vibrant, which means there's way more nutrients. I also will get egg whites. Typically, I'll get a case from Costco. Egg whites are a great way to get a lot more protein in, but save calories from fat because it's literally just protein. So I'll do that. I'll usually do like a half carton this size. Half carton this size with 2 whole eggs with my chicken sausage. I just realized I'm carrying this basket around because I wanted to blend in, but it's getting more and more awkward the longer I'm here with an empty basket. So another obvious source of protein is protein powder. I actually was able to find the brand that I use, although I get this at Costco because I pay $31.99, which is how much this one is, for a jug that's literally twice the size. Protein powder, supplements in general, they're called supplements because they're designed to supplement already existing good nutrition, not replace. So I have it because it helps me get my fruit in, especially during the winter, helps me get a little more protein in, it's convenient because I can drink it, and I just enjoy it. So protein powder is really good. Similar to the sausage example though, look at the fat and the protein. You wanna make sure, because some protein powders are designed to gain weight, and usually they'll say that on the front. But one way you want to help ensure that it's not a weight gainer, especially if you're not trying to gain weight, is again the fat content is much lower than the protein. So you can see here 5 grams of fat, 21 grams of protein per serving. All right, another staple of mine is the Kodiak Cake Protein Pancake Mix. It is amazing. It does not taste chalky. It tastes exactly like a Bisquick pancake, but you're getting 20 plus grams of protein per serving. I usually do a double serving, so that's about 120 grams on the scale, and it makes a pretty good sized pancake. I love it. I'll do this with my eggs, egg whites, and chicken sausage, and I have close to 100 grams of protein in just that one breakfast. And as you can see, lots of different flavors. Real nice. Right, I don't have pasta a ton personally, it's just not regularly in my diet, but I do like it sometimes. And this brand specifically, but really any brand that's made from chickpeas, black beans, things like that, lentils, you're gonna find there's a lot of protein in them. So I'll do a little side-by-side comparison with a regular pasta. So to be honest, I checked several brands and they're all fairly similar. Like this Bonzo one has 11 grams of protein per 2-ounce serving, and a lot of them had 6 or 7, and that may not seem like a lot, right? Like a 4 or 5 gram difference, but just like saving money, right? A little bit of dollars here, dollars there, it adds up. And so anytime you can leverage having more protein, even by a few grams, every little bit counts to help you keep your protein intake up. All right, next is Special K protein cereal. I love this stuff. This flavor is pretty good. Unfortunately, Special K discontinued my favorite kind, which was like the honey almond crunch. But this one's pretty good too. 15 grams of protein per serving. Obviously, I'm not trying to get my entire, day's intake in cereal, but it's a great supplement. When I want to reach for Lucky Charms, I want that kind of cereal fix. This helps me get a little more protein in as well. Personally, I prefer beef for a meat source, but these rotisserie chickens are great in a pinch. They're 15, 16 bucks. Give you a whole chicken, which is awesome. And they're already cooked too, so you don't have to cook anything, which is nice. All right, I'm actually getting some, so I'm no longer that creep that just walking around with an empty basket. These are more for my kids, but I do have these in a pinch sometimes too. Same brand as those pancakes, Kodiak cakes, protein packed in a serving, which I think it's 2 waffles. Let's see. Yeah, in 2 waffles, there's 12 grams of protein. A little bit higher in the fat, but again, if you're gonna have waffles, instead of reaching for those Eggos, you might as well get some protein in. So these are delicious and come in lots of different flavors. I legit forgot where I parked. So that was the grocery haul, protein edition. I hope that you found that helpful. I hope you saw really how easily available a lot of really delicious protein sources are. A couple of honorable mentions that I forgot to mention is things like Greek yogurt. Greek yogurt is a source of protein. In terms of the whole, should I get the full fat, non-fat? I'll let you decide on that. But yeah, that's a good one. Very versatile food as well for like sauces and dips. And then another one is edamame. Edamame is something you can easily throw into stir fries, bakes, things like that. And it's high in fiber and low calorie and high in protein. And one more thing I wanted to say too, and this is in regards to those of you that struggle with going through the drive-thru out of convenience, because that's what it's sold on, right? It's convenient to just drive up and order a number 3. How hard is it? How hard did it seem just now for me to walk into the store, grab a rotisserie chicken, maybe some fruit, and then you're out the door. And you have spent probably less money, honestly. And even if you spent a couple more dollars, you're nourishing your body on food that's actually going to help your body and help you get closer to your goals. And really with no more investment of time, you just got to get out of the car and walk. So again, I hope this helps. And stay tuned for the next video.